I'm just so honored and humbled to be here to celebrate the service of our veterans and recognize the sacrifices that they have made for our great country. As Terry was telling us a little bit about, going to Maine, it really started last summer that I had the opportunity to partner with Junior Achievement at an annual event to bring Travis to York so he could present at their annual JA recognition event, and it was quite a hit. And before Travis, that day I had an opportunity to spend time with Travis and Craig, when they were here in York, and I just left, just so inspired and so touched by Travis's story, by his generosity, and what his mission is going forward. Travis's commitment to helping veterans is just commendable and off the charts. He has a story that is unbelievable and inspirational, and his spirit is absolutely unbreakable. Travis is the definition of a true American patriot. Travis Mills lives by this phrase: never give up, never quit. Staff Sergeant Travis Mills is a recalibrated warrior. He's now a motivational speaker, an international voice and advocate for veterans and amputees. Travis is one of only 5 servicemen from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan ever to survive his injuries as a quadruple amputee. As part of his ongoing service to his country, Travis founded the Travis Mills Foundation, which benefits and assists wounded and injured veterans. As Terry mentioned, this past summer we had an opportunity, I believe it was in June, to go up for Travis's ribbon cutting at his facility. Now, when I met Travis last summer, he was telling me about his effort, and it was just incredible. So for us to go to, Terry went up, we went up with Andy Raymond and some other veterans, my wife Tracy and I, and it was an unbelievable event. And that facility opened in Rome, Maine. It's a remarkable facility which hosts war-injured veterans and their families free of charge. And actually there are 11 families that come each week from a period basically from April until November, and I believe you're going to have a week before Christmas, which will be very special. Travis is the perfect example of a veteran who continues to serve his country even after his service. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute honor, and to all the veterans in the audience, that I get to introduce my friend and patriot, Travis Mills.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much, sir. All right. Thank you, Mr. Senator. I appreciate that, sir. All right. Whoa. You got my notes too, right? You got my notes? No? Oof, I'm about to wing this one. Ladies and gentlemen, check it out. I'm hoping to be like that bomb in 2012. I'm hoping to have you guys be surprised. Not see it coming. I'm very nervous up here today, I should tell you guys, because, I just hope I don't bomb it. Do you guys get that? Check this out. Right up front, there's 3 statements I make every time I give a speech. The first 2 things about me up front you need to know. Number 1, I'm awesome. Yeah. Now, check this out. Number 2, I'm humble. Yeah. We should be friends on a personal level. I'm going to tell you guys a secret about me that you just don't know. That way you guys can go home and be like, I know a personal secret about Travis Mills, so we're friends on a personal level. I don't wash my hands after I use the bathroom. Yeah. I wash my hand. Oh, you guys see that? Now the last thing, and this will tell me how you guys are going to be as a crowd, so listen closely. I understand that you guys noticed the elephant in the room, all right? You guys are looking at me. Let's just get it out there in the open. Let's talk about it. My nipples stick out of my shirt. There's nothing I can do about that. I tell jokes to disarm the situation. Oh, Oh my gosh, knee slapper if you got them, am I right? Am I right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this fun party started. I'm grateful to be here today in the room of all you champions. I thank you for having me, and I'm just blessed to be here and be a veteran and part of this awesome crowd. So on the screen, you're going to see Staff Sergeant Travis Mills of the 82nd Airborne Division. I used to jump out of airplanes, kick bad guys in the face, and you should see it anyway. There we go. There it is. And I'm telling you right now, my wife Kelsey there, my daughter, that's my greatest achievements, okay? I have the best wife in the world. No offense to the wives out there. No offense to any of the husbands that think their wife's the best. I literally have the best wife in the world. Our daughter was born. And we said, what do we name this little sweet angel? We were thinking Madison, maybe Avery. My wife heavy sighed and said, Travis, we have to name her Chloe Lynn, don't we? I said, we don't have to. And she's like, you already got your ex-girlfriend's name tattooed on your arm, you idiot. So we named her Chloe Lynn. That's not true. That's a lie. No. My ex-girlfriend's name's the devil. We're going to talk about her too. But why start this story off right there? Let's back it up a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, on the top left of your screen, you're going to see my mom and dad's favorite day in their whole entire lives. That's April 14th, 1987, which, Craig, just hit the button on the thing. Hit the space bar. Gosh. Oh, I don't want to hit the space bar and click this fancy button. Oh, it's not amateur hour, bro. I traveled with my father-in-law. I'm kind of his role model in life, and he looks up to me, and I don't let him have the microphone and say what he really thinks about me, so. Anyway, my mom and dad's favorite day in their whole entire lives. That's April 14th, 1987. Their favorite child was born. Yeah, let me tell you how that worked out. The first kid, my sister, was born. When they looked at it, they went, crap. My mom said, not what we wanted. Yeah, back to the old drawing board, right? Then they had me, and they yelled, perfection! You get it. And then they thought they could duplicate me. They got a little cocky, if you will. And then they had my little brother. And they almost named him Daisy. For whoops-a-daisy, not what we thought. But growing up and playing a lot of sports, you guys probably can tell how athletic I am. I used to play football, baseball, and basketball. Check this out. I was a captain of the varsity baseball team sophomore, junior, senior year. I was a captain of the football and basketball team junior, senior years. I mean, I was awesome. And like a lot of you in this room, like Terry, when I met you, we had the instant connection. I just knew. We peaked in high school. Yeah. Yeah, the best days are behind us. And that's okay. But check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this. I was a linebacker number 5, making tackles, and I was the best at trash talking. I'd be like, your mom and dad never wanted you. Just hurtful things. And then, watch this. You think he's going to? You think? No, he's not. Touchdown, Travis Mills. Watch this. Smile, wink to the cheerleader. Hey, great job. He was the best cheerleader we had on the squad, though. No one got that joke. Okay, moving on. Quit being so PC. Okay, so after high school, I decided to go and play college football. And when the season ended, my girlfriend back home was like, hey, Travis, you should move home, you know, because you want to. I said, what? That's not the plan. The baseball coach asked me to play baseball. And she's like, yeah, but I love you. And I was like, oh, right. I went to the baseball coach, said, hey, baseball coach, I can't play for you this season. My girlfriend says she loves me, so I got to move home. Can you believe he looked at me and said, you're stupid? I know. I looked back at him, I said, you're stupid, and I moved home. And then I met her boyfriend, Colin. Yeah. So when I look back at my life, I'm like, how'd this happen? It's her fault. Yeah, I don't hold a grudge. But if she fell down a well, oh well. So, when I was at home and I realized I had to do something different, I had a different calling, my mom and I and my dad, we all talked about going into the military. My mom said, go to the Air Force, Travis. Go to the Air Force. So I tried. I went to the door and I knocked on it. Nobody was there that day. It was crazy. It was a Monday. I went back the next day, about 2 in the afternoon, figured, okay, they're not here at 10 in the morning, maybe they're here at 2. Nothing, The third day, I just realized they don't really work or do anything. So, yeah. So then I thought, you know what, maybe the Coast Guard, maybe the Navy. And then I thought, no. But I went to the Marines, right? I walk in, and this 6'4", barrel-chested, bald-headed man was standing there, and he was intense. He said, you want to join the Marines? I'm like, maybe. I don't know. He's like, yeah, you do. I said, well, tell me about the Marines. He said, well, check this out. If you want to be an electrician, you're in a career field, so you might be a plumber instead. I said, what? Well, no, what does that mean? He said, yeah, it's called a career field. You don't get a job, you pick the career field, and then if you want to be an electrician, you might be a plumber. How great is that? No. So I went to the Army, and they showed me this airborne infantry video. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the ticket right there. They said, you get this, $24,000 signing bonus to sign up for this. What? But I'm no dummy. I played car salesman. I went to the Marine. I said, what's your signing bonus, bud? Puffs his chest up, hikes his pants a little bit, and says, honor, duty, respect. I was like, I want that. No, it sounds great. I mean, but, cash money. He's like, there's no money there. I'm like, what? What kind of idiot would join the Marines? Show of hands? Show of hands? Yeah. Hide the crayons. So I went to the 82nd Airborne Division after I went to basic training and jump school and everything like that. I got to my unit. While I was at my unit, they said, you get to deploy for 15 months. I said, awesome. I went overseas and I started to lift weights to mend that broken heart that she-devil ripped out and stomped on. So then, while I'm over there, I have my medic, which is the third picture over, Josh Buck. And Josh Buck and me have dinner together. We hang out together. If I get injured, that man's going to save my life. Well, he goes home in September 2007, and just so happens, he's got a little sister that's 18 and in college, and she thinks I'm just gorgeous. I can't blame her. I was 6'3", 275, lifting weights all the time. I was jacked and tan. So check this out. She sends a MySpace friend request. And I'm thinking, that's a dating site. No way this picture pops up, this girl wants to talk to me. But I do a little bit of super sleuthing, right? I find out that's my medic's little sister. And ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing in life I love to do, it's antagonize people. Yeah. Like when I got blown up, I said, Mom, why'd this happen to me, Mom? And she said, karma, And I was like, what? What? But she's an alcoholic, so no one takes what she says serious. But don't feel bad, she doesn't drink all the time. No, eventually she'll pass out, so that's good. She also hates that joke. Don't tell her I said it again. I told her in front of 800 people in Miami, and she was in the room holding a margarita. I mean, it worked out beautifully. Beautifully. But, ladies and gentlemen, so I get this friend request from this girl. I never met her before, but I'm going to start saying, hey, what's going on? We start chit-chatting, and I'm private rich, as they call it. I got all this money from deployment. I can do whatever I want with it. I got my bonus money that came in. So I'm like, we should hang out. She said, yeah, we should. I said, you want to go to Mexico? She said, yeah. Now, she's 18 and in college. I'm 20 in Afghanistan. I didn't ask her dad, who's sitting over here. So publicly, Craig, thanks for not killing me. You had every right. But when I first meet her, we fly to Mexico for a week, back to Michigan for a week. I go back overseas, because I'm originally from Michigan, ladies and gentlemen. How about that Michigan State football team? Am I right? Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So, I'm actually a Michigan fan, so great job on that, you turds. You beat the crap out of my team. But check this out. I go back overseas after we hung out for 2 weeks. I get held up in Atlanta. So what do? I give her a call. Hey, Kels, I'm in Atlanta for the night. You want to come hang out? She says, yeah. Jumps on a plane. She packs a purse. She puts extra clothes in her purse to get on that plane. The next morning, we're saying our goodbyes, and she's doing that crocodile tear, the real ugly one, like Terry does. And she was like, she's like, I love you, So what do you say in that situation? Just for the record, you say, I love you too. You're not an idiot, right? So I say, I love you too. And then she says, I want to marry you. Well, I'm no dummy. I verbal jujitsu the crap out of that conversation. I said, I want to marry you too. I strut my stuff on the airplane, walking away, feeling like I nailed that, Casanova. Am I right? I fly back overseas. 24 hours later, I give my girlfriend, Kelsey, a call. Hey, babe, what's up? How you doing? You're just here in Afghanistan. And she says, guess what? I said, I don't know what. She says, the wedding's planned. Oh, no. Oh, you were serious. Oh. So what am I to do? I go to Zales.com. Yeah, I buy her a ring online, send it to her. We get engaged over the webcam. That's all a true story. I come back, and we get married, have a big wedding in June, right? Everything's going my way with us, and we buy a dog. Everybody always says, Travis, you got one of them service dogs? I say, no, I got a dog. He's 9 years old now. He's got a real unique name. See, check his name out. He's a yellow lab. His name's B-U-D-D-Y. Yeah, buddy. And my dog listens so good, I'm like, buddy, sit when you want, you know? And he will, eventually. Get over here when we're done doing that over there, please. If you're cordial, you know, it really works. I put an invisible fence in now. Got him. Anyways, so we buy the dog. Everything's going great. I got another deployment coming up. My first deployment, I got to like lift weights 3 hours a day, eat hot food every night, and go on missions with the government, you know, with the local governor of Coast. So it was a pretty chill job at 19. My next deployment was a little bit different. We were on top of a mountain 50 days. Then we moved to a different place for a bunch of time. I took 4 showers in 1 year. Not by choice, no. Now it's by choice. It's so good for your complexion. I mean, seriously. But on the way back back home from overseas, I give my wife a call. And if you guys are like getting ready to go in the military, like the gentleman I met earlier, I think Joey maybe, check this out. Learning point. Power of attorney is a real thing. I called my wife up. Hey, babe, I'm coming back. What's going on? She said, guess what I did today? I have no idea what she's doing. So I don't know. You went to college, I think. And she's like, I bought a house. How did you buy a house? And she's like, well, remember that power of attorney? I said, yeah. She said, you bought a house today. How excited am I? I bought a house. I get back 4 months later, we find out we're going to have a baby. Now, that's very important because I know that Marines can't count. So when you get back and 4 months later, your wife or your girlfriend, we'll say girlfriend to be safe about this, has a baby, it's not yours. They're like, yeah, well, it's just premature. Like, that's a 10-pound baby. Nothing premature about that baby right there. But we get back. 4 months later, we finally have a baby. 9 months after that, we have a baby. And everything's going my way. My daughter Chloe's born. I have orders to Fort Hood, Texas. I canceled because I don't want to do that. I got to go overseas with my guys for my 3rd deployment. So in February of 2012, I deploy. We go overseas, firefight every day. I mean, it was pretty hectic. But we get a call on April 10th of 2012. And they say, hey, look, we got some IEDs in the city. We need you to come out and take care of this. So we strap our stuff on, right? We get our gear. We go out and we sweep the ground, not once but twice. And there's nothing underneath the minesweeper that tells us there's anything there. So I set my bag on the ground. When my bag hits the ground, though, underneath it is a bomb. The bomb goes off and it automatically rips off my right arm, right leg. They disintegrated those pieces and never found those pieces. Left side of my face hits the ground. I roll over. My left leg's dangling down my left thigh. Just the ankle bones touching my left thigh because the skin and muscle are holding on, the bone snapped. And my left arm's still there, but mangled up pretty bad. So wrist is blown out, pinky and ring finger are mangled, and my thumb, index, and middle still work. I roll over and I see the aftermath. My medic, Doc Bateson, runs over to me. I say, Doc, don't worry about this. You're not going to save me. In my mind, I'm just in the movie Saving Private Ryan when the medic gets shot in the stomach and he cries out for his mom before he dies. I'm telling myself, do not show fear. Whatever happens is not in your control now, so you can only do... you can only keep a positive mindset and just say, hey, it is what it is. So instead of freaking out, I'm telling my medic, hey, leave me alone. Get away from me, save my guys. I'm not going to make it anyway. I've seen guys die for a lot less over here on my other deployments. And I'm trying to actually get away. I'm like, get away from me. But it's not working. They're coming up short. Stop it. Seriously, quit. So anyways, the medics come up and work on me. My platoon sergeant work on me. Tourniquets within 20 seconds. I radio my LT with my left hand. I reach up my trucker mic. Hey, 6, this is 4. Hit a bomb. Need your medic with mine. I got guys injured. Doc voice runs up, starts working on the other 2 guys, gets them where they're going to be okay to make it to the bird. Then they come work on me together. And I'm just telling them the whole time, hey, look, you're fine. Don't worry about this. If I don't make it, it's not your fault. All right? They get me on the helicopter to the emergency room. When they take me into surgery, I keep trying to sit up and stand up. I'm telling the doctors, hey, leave me alone. Quit touching me. I'm fine. Like, get away from me. And every time I try to sit up, they push me back down. And they say, Sergeant Mills, I don't know how you're still awake right now. You need to go to sleep. So they knock me out. The last thing I tell the nurses is, hey, I just want to be able to see my little girl again. Like, will I ever get to see her? And I go out. I'm fading out. They medically sedate me. They go to undress me, and where they duct tape my leg to my ankle to my thigh, they cut the tape off, they pull my pants off, my left leg comes with it. So I'm a triple amputee. 14 hours of surgery, 9 doctors and 7 nurses work on me. 2 nurses for 9 hours pump air in and out of my lungs to keep me alive. Over 30 blood transfusions go on. If you're A positive universal, you're rushing to the blood bank to donate your blood from your veins to put into my veins. All right, a lot of work. After 14 hours of surgery, I come out of surgery. The doctors are done what they could. My brother-in-law flies in from his outpost. We're still really great friends. He flies in, and he's the person that I'm named in my blue book, they call it. If I die, he escorts my body home. At this point, they don't know if I'm going to live or die. So then they fly me from Kandahar on the 10th to Bagram on the 12th. They take me into surgery. When they open the wounds up again to look at how everything going on, my left hand is necrotized, which means the skin died. They cut my left hand off. I became a quadruple amputee on the 12th. 2 days later, they find me in a launch stool, Germany, and they wake me up for the very first time. So when I wake up, I come to, my brother-in-law is the only one in the room. And I look at him and say, hey, Josh, my soldiers, how are my soldiers? And he tells me, Brandon's here, Ryan's there, this is their injuries. You took a lot of the blast, they're going to be okay. A little bit of recovery, but they'll be fine. And I said, am I paralyzed? He said, no, you're not paralyzed. And I said, no, Josh, I can't feel my fingers and toes, so tell me the truth, am I paralyzed? He says, you're not, but you don't have them anymore. And I didn't talk for 3 hours. The whole time I'm in my head. I'm embarrassed the Taliban got me. I'm angry that this happened. I'm questioning, does God hate me? Am I a bad person? How will I ever be a husband and a father ever again? This is ridiculous. Why would this happen? Why did I even live through this? Finally, after 3 hours, he says, you need to call Kelsey, and you need to call your parents. I say, no, I'm not doing that. So he calls my wife, puts the phone to my ear. My wife answers, and I say, hey, what's up? I'm fine, love you, bye. That's it. I didn't say anything else. I didn't want to talk anymore. And my parents, same thing. Hey, what's up? I'm fine, love you, bye. Before I could hang the phone up, my mom yells through, hey, Travis, happy birthday, by the way, because it's my 25th birthday. 3 days later, on the 17th, I ride back to Walter Reed. When my wife saw me, it wasn't that Kodak moment that you would think. It wasn't that, I love you, and da-da-da, like you're going to see on the Hallmark Channel one day, hopefully. It was, hey, Mrs. Mills, you're in charge of the medical history. We need you to sign this waiver for us to cut 2 inches off his right leg or he'll bleed out and die. And she was like so excited. She was like, oh, good, I didn't want to deal with this anyway. Let him bleed out. Nah, she didn't do that. I'm just kidding. So she signed the waiver. They took me to surgery. The next day she comes in the room on the 18th and I say, look, Kels, you don't got to do this. I appreciate you being here. I understand why you are. But you can just take everything we have, the house, the money, whatever is in the account, the cars are yours. Financially, I'll fund whatever you need. But do not think you have to be here. You're 23. We have a 6-month-old. You can live a real positive and happy life, and I won't be a burden dragging you down. And she looked at me, and she's like, I've been thinking about that, really. But handicap parking, I am excited for some handicap parking. Now, she got a little bit offended at that comment I made, and then she was like, that's not how this works. We'll get through this together. So, ladies and gentlemen, I travel around now, I talk about motivation, goal setting, perspective, and healthcare technology. And I said that backwards, I'm sorry. But I explain how this works. It's pretty cool, right? But let's get into it. I know we don't have that much time, and I appreciate you guys giving me the stage for a bit. So we've all been through some rough things, probably, I would imagine, whether it's military-related, injury-related, or just overall, personal life stuff. And I had to get motivated to get better. I think I'm going to be a burden, and my wife says she's going to stay with me. So for her, I'm going to get better. My little girl is 6 months old. My daughter, Chloe, comes in, lays on my chest. I'm thinking she's going to be so afraid of her dad. I mean, look at me. I got tubes out of each arm to a wound vac machine. I got stickies on my chest, PICC line out of my neck. How is this little girl not going to be afraid of me? She lays on my chest, starts giggling and laughing. And then I realized I look like every single toy she's ever been given. Yeah. Short arms, short legs, fuzzy chest. I'm a teddy bear. She reaches up and squeezes my nose. I'm like, oh my gosh, it hurts. My mom and my wife are like, look at her play with daddy. I'm like, no, seriously, get her off my nose. I'm trying to swing for the fences. Like, no. But for those two, I'm going to get better. But how am I going to do it? Well, check this out. This guy right here on the screen, retired corporal from the Marine Corps, Todd Nicely. He's a second ever quadruple amputee. When I came out of a coma, a couple days after that, he came into my room. And I thought, well, here we go. Hallucination. Here we go again. Because his drugs were strong stuff. He comes walking in. The first thing out of his mouth is, hey, man, welcome to the club. I looked at him and said, I want to be in your club. He shot right back with it. Kind of late now, don't you think? Well, you got me there. He said, what's up, man? I'm Todd. I live in Missouri with my wife. I got a house. I drive. I walk. I feed myself. I dress myself. I take my boat on the water. You're going to be fine. You just got to be patient. He said, matter of fact, tomorrow, I'll work out with you at 1 o'clock. I got some appointments I set up. I flew in here just to see you, and I will work out with you. I said, all right, cool. Next day, doctors come in. Dr. Pavey comes in at like 5:30, does his rounds. I say, hey, Doc, I met Todd Nicely. He said, man, that's great. I heard he came in to see you. I said, he did. We're going to work out at 1 o'clock today. He said, you're not. No, you're not. I said, yeah. Yes, I am. At 1 o'clock. He said, Travis, you're not cleared to work out. And I was like, I don't think we're having the same conversation here, bud. Because at 1 o'clock, I'm going to go with Todd Nicely and work out. And the thing was I went from 250 pounds to 140 pounds. Lost 110 pounds. I was so weak I couldn't roll left or right. Couldn't sit up. But the doctor finally was like, all right, we'll see. So I called every half hour, 4 hours straight, and finally he said, fine, you can go. I beat him, right? He called down there and said, don't let him do anything. So I went down there, I laid on my stomach, pelvis pad under my hips to stretch my hip flexors, heating pad on my back. I fell asleep 20 minutes. Best workout ever. I keep that regimen to this day, if you guys couldn't tell. That's not true. If you guys can't see it, check the pecs out like The Rock. What? That's why I got my wife. I was like, you make my heart go. She swooned. I caught her. It was beautiful. But the real reason I look so fat is actually your guys' fault. I want to bring this up to you. I get we're not in Philadelphia, but those Philly cheesesteaks, oof, I can't say no. I just can't. It's embarrassing. But it's the truth. I love them. You know him. He's all right. Let him go. It's very important. Buy high and sell low. That's bad information, actually. So check this out. I'm starting my comeback, all right? I got to start setting some goals. The first thing I want to do, right, my short-term goals, I want to be able to feed myself again. I'm tired of people clothing me, bathing me, basically, and putting food in my mouth. So I want to get my arm, and I want to feed myself. So I go over to the Fisher House. I dip into this piping hot plate of lasagna when I get my arm for the very first time after 5 weeks. I put it in there. I take a big, huge bite. I smile for the camera and say, this is delicious. The camera shuts off, and I say, someone give me some milk. This is burning my throat. Please help me. But I got the shot. The next thing, ladies and gentlemen, I want to be able to do. You ever have a boss that stands over top of you, and you can't stand up because it's rude, and you're looking up at them? That's what it's like in a wheelchair. You're looking up at people all the time. It just so happens that you don't notice it when you're standing, but when you're sitting, there's a lot of boogers in people's noses. Yeah. And every time they breathe, it comes out a little bit. And after the third and fourth time it comes out, it like falls out, and you're like, oh my gosh, that just hit me. You know, and I'm not a Marine. I'm not like, oh, free lunch, you know. Yeah, you big bunch of booger eaters. Anyway, so I want to be able to walk again. So 7 weeks and 4 days, just shy of 2 months into my recovery, I started walking around for the first time. The Military Advanced Training Center is just a bit smaller than this room. 16 laps is a mile. They said you'll walk 1 lap. I walked 3 laps that day, and I started my recovery. My recovery became my job. 4 hours of occupational therapy and 4 hours of physical therapy each day, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, as much as I could. But on top of that, there was one more phone call I made on my birthday, and you guys being military service members, you're going to know and you're going to understand. Now, I was in a pretty bad spot, questioning why this happened. You know, my bad person, does God hate me, all these things. But my men back in Afghanistan knew me as happy-go-lucky, singing all the time, and first in a firefight, never showing fear. And I know they were worried about me. So on my birthday, when I woke up in launch drill, I gave them a call. And I sang through the phone, the 80-second song. I talked to them, and I said, hey, guys, I am fine. Do not worry about me. I'm going to make it. Thanks for your hard work out there. You guys really pulled together for me, made it possible for me to still be alive. And I will see you when you get home on my tall legs. So I set the goal I was going to be on my taller legs. I made my goal. I got my legs that morning. I worked out 3 hours. I drove 6 hours to Fort Bragg, and I met them ramp side. The top left is a reenact from a documentary. The bottom right's me hugging Daniel Bateson, my medic that saved my life. Now, I set some long-term goals too. My long-term goals I set, the first one, I had some firemen come in from New York City with Todd Nicely when I met Todd. And they said, hey, we put a 5K on. It's called the Tunnel to the Towers 5K, Steven Siller Foundation. We'd love to have you come up. And I told these 4 firemen, I said, yeah, I would love to come up. That sounds great. I'll even walk it. They said, well, Travis, you haven't even worked out yet, so we'll push you if you know, that's fine. I said, no, I'm going to walk it. And they were like, well, either way, we'd love you to come up. So I said, okay, cool. So a day after my daughter's birthday party in September, 5 months after my explosion, I went up to New York City. I strapped my legs on. I said I was going to walk this 5K. As I'm walking, I'm going down the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. My back's starting to hurt. I'm sweating like crazy. I'm like, you know what? I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Not my death, but when I come out, that's where I'm going to sit down. But when I come out of the tunnel, there's 343 firemen with 343 banners on their neck to represent the lives lost in 9/11. And I thought, man, if these brave men and women, the first responders, would go up down them flights of stairs and save as many lives as possible until the buildings came crashing down, I can finish this 1.2 miles, and I did. I finished the 5K. Afterwards, I get on stage. There's 20,000 people strong listening to the Gary Sinise Lieutenant Dan Band. You guys know who Gary Sinise is? I'm friends with him. No big deal. Just name dropping. But anyways, I get on stage, right? 20,000 people like, yeah, with all these other guys. And my pain's going away. My right leg has, like, I rubbed it so raw I'm bleeding into it. But it doesn't matter to me now because everybody's cheering. And I'm walking out with my crutch in my left hand. I'm waving. Hopefully they understand what I'm doing. My toe, though, doesn't realize there's a cord right there. And I catch that cord, and 20,000 people go from, yeah, to, oh. But former Mayor Rudy Giuliani's bodyguard, Brian, a knight in shining armor, a 6'7" behemoth of a man, swoops in and picks me up under the armpits, right? Picks me up. Crowd goes wild. Yeah, he has no idea how my legs work. Down I go. Yeah, he's not deterred though. This man's determined. Does it again, right? Lets me go. The crowd starts turning on him though. They start yelling, "Mercy!" It was like Braveheart all over again. I stood up and yelled freedom. It was nice. But I was able to, walk that 5K. Now, on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever come to Augusta, Maine, where I live, and you see my truck driving around, this is big F-250, 6.7 liter turbo diesel. Oh yeah, a little bit of a lift kit on it, bigger tires. I call it the compensator. Some of you got that. So, if you come up and see that truck on the road, stay away from it. I'm an awful driver. Yeah. Do you know what it costs for a license for me nowadays? $430. Highway robbery, right? Not so much. $30 to take the test. I failed. $400. I paid him off. Yeah. Life lesson, kids. Money buys anything. I'm just kidding. I'm actually a great driver. My truck is set up with, I drive with my feet. My van's got hand controls in it. It's kind of neat. But check this out. I'm just ripping down the road. Nobody has any idea their life's in danger. It's pretty cool, right? I was driving through a cornfield. I wasn't supposed to be there, but I was anyway. And every time I get pulled over, and they're like, "Hey, you were speeding." I'm like, "Oh, my foot got stuck. I'm sorry. I couldn't feel it." "Oh, sorry to bother you then." "Thanks, man." "Yeah, Joe, free card." So check this out, ladies and gentlemen. The senator touched on it earlier. The Travis Mills Foundation was one of my long-term goals I set. My wife and I, Walter Reed, saw all these different nonprofits coming in. There's some wonderful people out there. We made friends with a lot of them. There's one actually in Crownsville, Maryland called Trucking for Troops. They're wonderful people. If you guys ever get a chance to support some local people in Maryland, they're great to talk to. And I say that only because the founder, his son's here today with me, so I just figured I'd give him a plug. His name's Travis, and he brought his pre-fiance. I'm so excited. They're not engaged yet. They started dating like a month ago, but they're so excited. How's it going so far? Nice. So, I started the Travis Mills Foundation, and what the foundation was when I started was just care packages overseas. And then it grew to something bigger. I went to Colorado, I went downhill mountain biking, and all you do, and like you, right here, sir, I mean, you can tell, you got a ThighMaster machine at home, don't you? You got beautiful quads. That's not a sexual statement, I'm just saying they're very nice. But what happened was we went out to Colorado and we strapped ourselves into these bikes, and then they rerouted the brakes to my thighs, they stuck my prosthetics on the handlebars and duct taped them, and then they took us up 9,000 feet and said, "Don't die," and they pushed me down a mountain. And I don't have a ThighMaster machine like you, so I almost died. But after learning how to do that, kayaking and canoeing, I thought, man, this is great. The only thing that was lacking was guys that could take care of themselves, could shower and do things by themselves without needing any assistance, couldn't bring their families. And that's fine, because Walter Reed is only cleared by the government to give money for the service members, as many as possible, to get them out there and try new experiences. So my wife and I got thinking, you know what? With kayaking and canoeing, downhill mountain biking, snowboarding eventually, we have the ability to still function as a family and not live life on the sidelines for me. So we thought, let's bring some friends out to Maine. Proof of concept, we brought some friends out to Maine. On the screen, you're going to see the families that we help. On the left, you got Josh Wetzel. He's from Auburn, Alabama. I was actually just with him yesterday. I spoke to the University of Auburn yesterday. Well, actually 2 days ago, but it doesn't matter. Next to him is Andrew Smith, double amputee from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Then you got the best-looking quadruple amputee you ever did see, me. Then you got Taylor Morris, another quadruple amputee. He's number 5 out of the 5 of us. Then you got a guy with a paper cut. He just showed up and like, "Can I be in your picture?" And we're like, "No, you can't be in our picture. What are you talking? Why would we let you in our picture, And he's like, "Well, I'm missing a leg." I'm like, "That's a flesh wound, you turd." Now, his name's Drew Mulley. He's actually from Ohio, so I don't respect him. But yeah, he's great. His wife's phenomenal, and they have a beautiful son and everything. We bring families out and show them how to do things adaptively. After a proof of concept went so well, the second year we decided we need a place to build this. So we went out shopping and found Elizabeth Arden estate. And in 1929, she built this estate and helped out like Mimi Eisenhower and Judy Garland. And they say it was like a spa retreat, but apparently it was for all these alcoholic wives to come dry out. But we don't got to get into the weeds of this. But after we started to work on it, we had found we had to replace the foundation. So we picked it up, added a full basement. So it's an 11,000 square foot facility. We host 8 families a week. We did 7 weeks this summer. That's what we were going to do. And then we were able to add 4 more weeks on. The last week of families that we're having is a week before Christmas. Boeing has sponsored their week. We have Cintas buying all their Christmas presents for them, and they're all families from Houston or Miami. But the big thing is what we do, when we bring these families out, we say, hey, look, here's a network of people for you to reach out to, whether you live in Montana, York, Pennsylvania, or Chicago downtown. You all have the same type of story. We thank you for your service. We appreciate what you've done, and we want you to make sure that you have a network to reach out to. It's not just about the service member. It's about the family member that is the spouse as well as the children to see other people in the same situation and build these lasting bonds. Now, we've had really great success because we have great sponsors, Senator Wagner being one of them. This man flew out, helped us promote it, and he has just been a phenomenal champion of our mission. And I'm not supposed to get political, but if you guys are looking for the next governor of this great state, you're looking at him. I'm not supposed to say that. You told me to stay away from politics, but he's a phenomenal man, and you guys should really get behind him. Yes. I know, we're staying neutral. We're staying neutral. But as you can see on the screen, this is our first week that we finally, when we launched our grand opening of families. We have about 25, 35 people per week on average, and we're going to keep expanding and growing. And all the money raised goes towards a project. I'm the president, Craig's the vice president, 5 other members on the board. No one takes a dime. And we're just thankful to be able to do it and give back. So if you guys want to get involved, visit travismills.org for all your Travis Mills needs. All right, moving on. Let's wake some people up. Healthcare technology. I got about 10 minutes left. I'm still good? Okay, cool. Maybe 20. Maybe 35 minutes. Whatever. We'll get there. All right, healthcare technology. How's this stuff work? Check this out. On the screen, these are my legs. On the left side of the screen are my short legs. When I was trying to learn how to walk, I had to start from, 5'5", because I was 6'3", and then I was cut out at the knees. Yeah. It's not every day you meet a 25-year-old that fell apart. Oh, I know. 2 feet in the grave now. You guys get it? Because I'm handicapped from the bomb. So, you got the short legs. After the short legs, you slide over and you use these tall legs. These tall legs, they're not that great. They're just stilts, but they make you taller so you can get more balance and get used to it. After those, you get the ones I'm wearing now. These are called X3s. These legs are the best on the market. Let me tell you something. These legs have 4 great distinct features. And I'm thankful that I live in a nation that's able to give me these and provide these so I can live a full life. The first thing is they're microprocessors, which means they're little computers. Every time I move, over 300 adjustments get made internally to make sure I stay upright as possible. On top of that, they got Bluetooth remotes. When I drive my truck, I lock in with my Bluetooth remote on my leg. It goes from walk mode to lock 25-degree angle, and I just drive like everybody else. It's pretty awesome. They're also, get this, circle of life, ladies and gentlemen. This is a beautiful thing. They're waterproof. Yeah, so when I'm skipping across the lake on my boat, and my wife says, don't go through there, it's shallow, and I'm like, I'll show you, and I hammer down, and then all of a sudden I hit that rock, and I go, whoa, flipping into the water. I'm going to drown. Like, I can't swim with these anchors. But when they dig my body up, guess what? Someone's going to get these donated to them. How beautiful is that? Circle of life. And the last thing, they have hydraulic brakes in them, which means when I go down all these jetways and I find all these planes, I can slow myself down when I go down the ramp. So instead of going bowling for people, I don't hit them. The only problem is there's usually a crotchety woman in there, named Ruth usually. No offense. There's any Ruths out there. So I go bowling for Ruth and I take her out, And she goes down like, oh, my hip. And I'm like, look, Ruth, be nicer to people, and drink more milk. Osteoporosis is rampant. I watch commercials. That joke usually goes over very well. I'm sorry. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This hand on the screen, this is called a Greifer. It's the most important hand I own. Do you want to know why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I have a 6-year-old little girl. And when she starts dating in 10 years, if I allow it, Johnny's going to come over. And I'm going to grab Johnny's hand. And that hand goes to 25 pounds of pressure, and then it goes to 35, which means it breaks small bones. Yeah. Someone break his bones in his hand. Let me go. I'm going to pull him in close before I let him go and say, guess what, Johnny? He's like, I don't know what. No fingerprints. Don't mess with me. But how's this hand work? I need a volunteer, and I'm going to search far and wide. I need the county commissioner to come on up here, Susie Burns. I need a volunteer. Come on, you got this. You look so lovely today. Did you know you were going to be volunteering today?
I'll volunteer today.
Yeah, that's so great. Come on over here. Stand right next to me right here. I'm not contagious. You're not going to catch no arms and legs from me. I promise that. Check this out. Make a fist. Make a other hand though. Now rev the engine on a moped.
A moped?
Yeah.
A moped? I don't know what's a moped. I've never ridden one.
You never rode a moped?
No.
They're
Okay,
super
like this?
fun.
Yep.
Terry has one. So,
I don't know.
watch, where's Craig? See Craig over there? Watch Craig's flex. Do that right there.
Oh, okay.
So you feel this muscle flex?
Yes.
So I have that muscle still. So when I flex my muscle, flex it slow. Rev the engine on a moped slow. Can you guys hear a moped revving? Because I sure can't.
Boom, boom.
Nicely done. When I flex it up slow, it opens. Now rev the engine fast on that moped. Can you guys hear a
Broom,
moped?
broom, broom, broom.
Are you saying broom, 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 broom? My mother-in-law rides one of those. Because she's a witch. You guys get that joke.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. I'm just joking, and Craig knows that. No. Wah, 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 wah. Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm just making sounds now. So check this out. When I flex the muscle up fast, it rotates around to the left. All right? Now make a fist. Look at Craig one more time. Do what he's doing. Craig, over there. Just go down. Just go down. All right. When I flex this muscle, it's called the brake. So flex it down slow. Hit the brake slow. Yeah, I didn't hear it either. Okay, now check this out. Someone just cut you off in traffic. Oh my gosh, what do? You hit the brakes. How fast?
Real fast.
That's right. Down fast rotates around this way. That's not really why you're up here, by the way. I could have done that without you. But the real trick is, at Walter Reed, they have like the coolest technology. And I thought maybe you'd like to check this technology out. It's supposed to be voice-activated controls. It's kind of the dumbest thing ever created. Like my phone, I'm like, hey Siri, call my beautiful wife. And it's gonna do it, but I don't want it to. The problem is my hand can do it too. So if I'm like open, close, turn, or stop, it's supposed to work. Check this out. Blue lights came on, right?
Yep.
Open, turn, stop, close. Right? You want to try? Everybody wants to try. That's why you're up here. Go ahead and give it a try. Give it an open. I just said it. Give it a close.
Close. Close.
A little bit louder, maybe.
Close.
It's baritone soprano bass, but so a little bit raspier. Like sound like a man.
Close.
No, like, but louder. Like close.
Close.
Try turn.
Turn.
No, like smoother though. Like turn.
Are you jerking?
No, you got this. You got this. Turn. Like that.
Turn.
No, watch me. Watch me. Turn. Now your turn. Now you try.
Turn.
Watch. Close. Now, like that. Like, you hear how my voice is going? Close.
Close.
You've realized I've said it every time too, right? Like turn, close. Yeah, it's not voice activated at all. Yeah. Give it a round of applause. Thanks for playing. I appreciate it. Ow! Just kidding. Thanks so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I get to play that joke on a lot of people. It's very enjoyable for me. I got Peyton Manning one time, and Peyton Manning was like, so what do I say? What do I say? I'm like, Peyton, it's real simple. Open or close. Say one of those. He looks at me and gets geared up. He's like, Omaha. I said, real cute, Peyton. I get why you're saying that, but no, try open and close. And he's like, Omaha, set. I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. Only thing Peyton Manning says after that is, your arm doesn't work right now. Oh, nationwide, am I right? Peyton Manning. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get in the meat and potatoes of this, okay? Look, I don't put a show on, and this isn't a facade just because it's fun, and I say things I think you want to hear. I truly am a happy-go-lucky person. The foundation has, yes, given me purpose to give back and still have service in my life. My family's still there for me, but you know what? Life is all about perspective. People always ask me, Travis, how do you keep going in life? You know, how are you not mad or angry or down and out? And I tell them it's all about perspective. And ladies and gentlemen, on the screen on the top left, you're going to see Francis Gene Phillips IV. Great friend of mine. Francis Gene Phillips IV went by Frankie. All right? He had a wife, Christine, as you see, and a daughter, Sophia. On his third deployment, his Hummer hit a bomb. Everybody in the truck died. He's no longer with us. I don't tell you to make you sad or angry or upset. I tell you that because you know what? His mother, his wife, and his daughter would give anything for one more day with him. One more chance to have one conversation. So I look at him and I think about his sacrifice and his family sacrifice. Now his wife's remarried to a wonderful gentleman. His daughter's 9, doing great. I just heard from them today on Facebook. But the thing is, I think it'd be a selfish slap in the face if I gave up on myself, or if I gave up on my family, because he's no longer here. He made a sacrifice, his family made a sacrifice for us to live in a great nation that we live in. So for them, I'm going to keep going forward. Because the alternative could be a lot worse. I could not be here to watch my daughter grow and take her out to ice cream. take my wife on dates. On top of that, right, Brandon Goodine on the other side, he was a 17-year-old kid, got a girl pregnant in high school. Didn't know what to do, so he joined the military at 17, got emancipated from his parents, and went off. His first deployment, my third, he was on a patrol, hit a bomb, lost one arm and two legs, got on the stretcher. On the stretcher, when they were rushing him out, the guy in the front right of the stretcher, Stephen Leroy, hit another bomb. Brandon Goodine left behind a 7-month-old little girl that only knows stories and pictures of her dad. So for them, I'm going to keep going forward. For their sacrifice, I'm going to keep pushing on. On top of that, let's not forget about the doctors and nurses and medics and the staff at the hospitals, okay? My medics worked on me and my platoon sergeant. They got me to the hospital where the doctors and nurses worked on me. From that hospital, I went to another hospital in Bagram. From Bagram to Launch Jewel to Walter Reed. The medical staff, therapists, nurses, doctors, just clerks at the desk, everybody went into my recovery, the well-wishers across the nation. And for them, I'm going to keep going forward. I got the chance, or opportunity, if you will, to meet up with 6 of the 9 doctors, 4 of them there on stage. And they kept emailing my team, is he mad, is he angry, is he upset? Is this a curse, not a blessing? You know, is he going to yell at us or berate us for saving his life? I finally saw him and I broke down and said, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You could have loosened one tourniquet and I could have died within 2 minutes. But instead you worked on me. You made sure I got back to my family, and I am forever grateful and in your debt. All right, from my experience at Walter Reed, I was very upbeat, happy-go-lucky, and fun. I had a great time there, and there was a documentary done. If you guys have Netflix, I encourage you to go home, type in Travis, A Soldier's Story. It's a 2014 GI Film Festival Award winner. It's available on Netflix, and it tells my whole story. My medics, my guys got injured, my brother-in-law, my wife and I, my parents, my in-laws. Everybody's in it. And if you guys get bored today and you want to watch something that's kind of cool, and it stars yours truly, check it out. On top of that, I wrote a book, ladies and gentlemen. The book's called Tough as They Come. It's a New York Times bestseller. It just covers my story. The most important part, to be honest with you, for me, is the author's note. The story's going to tell itself, but the author's note is this, and it basically states, if you served, thank you for your service. Now look, I sit here and I hammer on the Air Force, I hammer on the Marines, and the Navy and the Coast Guard, but you know what? I raised my right hand like everybody else. I took the oath, and I thank you for your service. We've touched on it today, and I'm glad that's part of the event. Every time I get a chance to get in front of people, I say, Vietnam vets, you know what? Welcome home, and thank you for your service, and making sure that we got respect that you never got, but you deserved. So I think that this generation of warfighter, my generation, is benefiting because you made sure it never would happen again what happened to you. So I thank you for that, and I appreciate that. There it is. Now, and lastly, in the author's note, it states, I don't think my problems outweigh anybody else's. We all have our own thing we're going through, so if my story has helped you, if this is fun for you, if you want to pass my message along, please do that. Visit travismills.org or type it into Facebook, SSG Travis Mills. Tell your friends about it. I'm going to leave you 2 nuggets here real quick, the 2 life lessons I've learned, so you can go on your day and find out how I get through whenever I have a rough day, because I do have a couple rough days every now and then. The first thing I tell myself is, you know what? I can't dwell in the past. There's nothing I can do about yesterday, 5 years ago, or 10 years ago. Nothing. So instead of dwelling on the past, I reminisce the past. I'm grateful for what I have with arms and legs. I'm grateful for the ability I had to be in the military. But I don't dwell on it. I reminisce that. The next thing, I found out that, you know what? I can't always control my situation, but I can always control my attitude. So whenever I have a rough day, I'm like, look, this is just my fault for not being happy and not finding a way to get through this. So I turn my attitude right around. My slogan is never give up and never quit, and I live by that. And I'm thankful for everything you guys have done and continue to do for your communities. And let me tell you something. After this, if you get a chance to come say hi, if you guys want to do that, I'm open to any question. Nothing bothers me, nothing embarrasses me, and I'll start you off. Still got it. Still works. And there's proof. So, is that okay? My wife and I are blessed to have our son be born this year in August on the 17th. We named him after our 2 medics, as you read on the screen, Daniel and Alexander, because those guys saved my life and made it possible for me to have a child and still be here with my family. So again, thanks for having me. You guys are wonderful. I do appreciate your time, and have a wonderful Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. Thank you.
Well, this will be short and sweet since you made fun of me. I'm not giving you a proclamation, and I'm not giving you a commissioner's medal, but I'm giving you one for each in your family. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm sorry about that.
No, I'm just teasing you.
Scott said you'd be really great at that. Oh, there you go. That tickles. Quit it. I'm married. There we go. Awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir. Oh. Sorry if I went too long. Did I go too long? All right, cool. I go backwards so I won't fall.